You might know me as a criminal. You might think of me as a man who deserves to die. You probably don't know my whole story, and you probably wouldn't care to hear, even if I tried. I sure regret some things I've done, but through all the hurt, this battle's won. 'Cause I'm not who I was, I'm who I'm meant to be. God, your love's enough to change a man like me. This life's not easy, but it's so hard to forget. You're the air I'm breathing in, and I'm on my feet again because of you. I'm alive and breathing because of you.
Good evening and welcome to IITW Radio. It is 7:27 Friday night. We're out on the porch with Travis and where's she at?
Tammy. Hi, guys.
Tammy. So did you have a good week?
I did. How about yourself?
Yeah, I guess. I'm still alive, so it's all good.
That's a good thing.
It'll be better because we got April Iser in the studio tonight.
Hi, April.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Good.
How come we didn't have pretty young women like that when I was younger?
We did.
We did. They just ran from me, I guess.
You caught a few. I know you did.
No. April, you're running for District 3 in Putnam County.
I am.
For Putnam County Commissioner.
Yes, sir.
We put up a thing tonight. We're doing the show on the road stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, a couple more things. And I know you've got kids and a life, and you have to get back to your family. If it's this time, in December, she's going to be working. Probably. No, you already
Hopefully.
be home. Okay, so we did a thing this week, and like I mentioned on the show last time we had you on about the road in front of my house, and then the roads in front of the studio and stuff are just completely trashed out. Well, we had a lady or person write in the other day. It was a letter to the editor, and they showed pictures of their road. Let me get one of those up here. Now these pictures are from all over the county, April.
Which one is it?
Just go ahead and put that one up right there.
That's a hot issue, I'll tell you. It's a hot issue for everyone.
That was it. That's the one she sent over. You can say it was a she. She commented on the post.
Yeah. Now, can you see that from where you're sitting at?
Can you turn it just a little bit?
The monitor?
Yeah.
There you go. How's that?
There you go.
We're still trying to get the studio set up. I've got a monitor in the next week going into here.
That's
Onto your
insane.
side. That's one of the roads that she called in complaining about. And I believe it's a progression picture.
Do you know what road that is?
That is, hang on, I can tell you. Just a second.
While she's looking for
Go ahead.
while she's looking for the name of that road, for the last 2 years, a little over 2 years now, I have been calling Public Works and Press Tompkins or Mike Nimitz, I believe is how you pronounce his last name. I have been waiting on calls from those guys and just anybody from the Public Roads Work to come out here. You've seen the mess that's in front of, my house as well as what's in front of the studio.
Right.
For 2 years, they keep telling me somebody will contact me within 24 hours. Now, I understand it's government time. But as of today, I called them back this morning. I left 2 messages. First of all, I couldn't get in contact with anybody at the Crescent City office or at the one in East Palatka behind the Burger King.
Right.
Could not get anybody, they just didn't answer the phones.
That's almost another hot issue that has been going around the county.
Yeah, you were telling us about that the last time, that one of your biggest questions is what? Or one of the biggest statements made by people.
Oh, that I'll call you back?
Yeah.
I'll call you back now, yeah. now I'm on the chopping block. I want you to vote for me. I'll call you back.
Yeah. The one thing I can say is every time I've called you, that you called me back.
Well, I try to. I mean, we're all busy. We all have lives, but without the community, I mean, what's the point?
Yeah. So we've got other pictures up here. Let's pop up a couple more.
That one, by the way, was Osteen Road in Hollister.
Osteen Road. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, before we go too much further, I understand that Putnam County is a big county. I know that.
827 square miles.
Yeah, I didn't even have that statistic. Holy crap!
Wow.
She's good.
I like research. I love to read. I love to learn. I'm ready for this. I am.
And we got this picture. I don't know if you know where this one's at, Tammy.
I can
But-
tell
Oh
you where
my.
that one is at too, and that is on Ash ASH Street in Palatka. The lady who sent this in said that well, there's two other ones that were with that as well. One is where a place has kind of collapsed in the road. She said that hole is so deep that a man can stand down inside that hole and his head would not come out of it. They're very concerned about it. They've never done anything to repair it. She said they're very concerned because they're worried that a child could fall down inside that hole. She said,
Yeah, we have another picture. I think this is the other picture too. It's the one right before the stop sign, right?
yes, that's one of them. And she said that it's collapsed 2 times. They don't seem to care. And it's almost gotten to the point where you can't hardly drive down the road in any kind of safe situation of any kind.
Well, why
But
would
they're-
you want to drive on that? That looks horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
There's not even any cones up around it.
Right.
No, nothing. She said they don't seem to even care that it's there.
No, they
That-
should
that-
have barricades or something of the sort.
That's on a paved
Exactly.
road. See, this is the
Yeah.
one that, now, correct me if I'm wrong here, but this is the one that said this has been since Irma.
Yes,
And what road is this? Is this Ash Street still?
Ash. Yes.
Wow.
Ash Street. Now, you see stuff like that, it's got to make you sick to your stomach.
It does. Well, I mean, imagine if someone drove over that and it collapsed while they were driving over it, or if someone, you know, they were walking over it or something. Anything could happen. I mean, that's just insane. And then who's going to cover the liability when something does happen?
Exactly.
Seems like that would be a county liability issue.
But how are they going to cover it? They don't have any money.
Yeah, right?
The money that they do have, and that's what everyone needs to realize also, is a lot of people think, oh, well, it'll be paid for by the government. Well, where does the government get their money from? Us.
Yep, taxes. But I mean,
Exactly.
that right there is a danger right there. It's not just a matter of fixing a road, a couple barricades, or just to send somebody out there to put them up. Hell, if they give me the barricades, I'll go put them up because somebody's going to be driving down the road there. Even at 30 miles an hour, you know, you could bash your face into the windshield
Right.
or an
You don't see
airbag
that
pop
coming
out.
and your tire goes down inside that. That's all it takes.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, if you hit that thing on a motorcycle, you know how many miles you would go up in the air? That would suck. Okay, when you see stuff like this, go ahead and put up. Let's put up this one right here, the SUV.
Oh, my goodness.
This is a lady who was trying to get her family, I guess. Okay, that one was sent in by. Can I say his name? Okay, that one was sent in by a guy named Don, and that's a road for the last month. It's been underwater, and it says people get stuck every day, and we pull some out, others get towed. I've called the county commissioners. Terry Turner told me they have to wait until the rain stops. Well, rain hasn't stopped, and we still get.
We live in Florida. When is the rain going to stop?
Yeah, we still can't get in and out. If we have an emergency situation, no fire department or ambulance will be able to get down the road. We need ditches, culverts cleaned out to get water off of the road. Now, that looks, you know, and here's another picture that was sent in.
Well,
I
the
mean,
water
yeah.
standing on the road and the water seeping under the road, all of that adds to the deterioration of the roads.
Yeah, now I
Right.
understand that.
We need to find a way to redirect all of the overflow.
I mean, I understand that we've had a lot of rain. But this is Florida. This is not something we don't have happen every year, every
But
summer.
the rain isn't going to stop, so you're either going to have to find a way to work with it with the rain, or what, everyone's just going to have to give up and move, which is what's pretty much going on now. Everyone's forgotten about. Everything's forgotten about. They don't care, it seems like.
Yeah, now, of course, I'm high and dry where I'm at, where the studio and my house
I'm not.
is at. But even at my house, when I go home at night, they've taken so much dirt or sand. It used to be road base at one time. They've taken it down about 16 to 18 inches down. They pulled that sand off and stuck it on the bottom of the road, and then they bring in road base and build up the bottom of the road. Meanwhile, people that are going up in front of my house, at least every 2 or 3 days, I have to take my big truck and go out there and pull somebody's butt out of the sand. You know, and then now, because of what they've done on the top, the whole bottom end of my yard is starting to flood out.
Right.
So what ideas do you have for straightening out the road situation? I mean, because, you know, this is not something that's just happened like with this administration.
Sure. And it's not something that's going to happen overnight. You know, it's not going to be fixed overnight. It's going to take time to get everything in order and to figure out what really needs to be done. But I think the first step in figuring out what needs to be done is finding out where the last 16 years worth of taxes have gone.
Yeah, because I don't, you know, every time I walk out on my road, and I talked to you, when I talked to you earlier, I was on my way to the mechanics to get the front end of my Jeep redone now for the third time in 3 years.
Right.
Every time it cost me $800, $900, $1,200 because of the road that I live on. And that's it. The rest of the time I try to stay on paved roads.
Right. And whether you have an SUV, a truck, a car, no matter what you're driving, it's still taking its toll on the car. And people's cars are squeaking and creaking and cracking and everything all over the place driving down our roads. It's really sad to listen to and to see.
Yeah, and my daughter has a brand new car, and the thing's got less than 15,000 miles on it, and the front end sounds like it's falling apart now.
Right.
Just from coming back and forth, and she's not up here all the time. She lives in Daytona. She moved out of Putnam County.
Right.
She said she couldn't afford to pay for her front end again.
No. How can you? I mean...
And the Chevy dealership told her
insane.
that it's not a warranty issue, that it's abuse on her vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm not the only one. Every car that drives past my house at night sounds like the front end's rattling apart.
So not only are you paying taxes to improve the roads that aren't being improved, but now you have to pay extra costs to maintain your vehicle on problems that shouldn't be there to begin with.
Well, it seems like that the majority of the money goes into the cities, you know, whether it's Crescent City or Palatka. The rest of the county, to me, seems to be bastardized. I live in an unincorporated area,
Mm-hmm.
which they consider it's not rural residential anymore. If it was, the county could get out of a lot of heat on this one, because rural residential, okay, you're in a residential area, but the minute that they called it Satsuma and listed as unincorporated residential, now I'm pimped.
Right.
You know, our tax dollars here and in the unincorporated areas all over, where it's Boswick or Interlock and the parts of Interlock and Keystone, I believe, is in our thing. You've got, you know, Satsuma, San Mateo. There's not too many unpaved roads in East Palatka, but still the southern middle ends of the counties,
The outskirts.
we're paying just as much in taxes, but the only thing we're doing is getting graders that come down here. And a lot of these people are saying the graders don't know what they're doing.
They're just shoving the dirt to the side of the roads.
Yep, and filling in the ditches.
Right.
So if you're
Everybody
elected,
says the same
Which
thing.
adds to the flooding issue.
yeah.
Right.
So if you're elected county commissioner, what's one of the things you're going to do to straighten this out?
I think the first thing that we need to do is assemble a citizens advisory committee. Excuse me, I blanked out for a minute there.
That's all right. Wait until you get old like me.
Oh, it's been a long day already. I'm telling you, I'm tired.
Happens daily to me. I have to run to the bathroom to remember I was running to the bathroom to go to the bathroom.
I'm not quite that bad yet, but I feel it coming. No, but we need to put together a panel of citizens, because like I said, without the community, what's the point? They're the whole reason that everything is being done to begin with. So if we put together an advisory committee of them and, you know, address a lot of the problems, they need to discuss and set the order of the priority, you know, prioritize the roads and what needs to be done whether they go by traffic volume or emergency services being able to access the homes or whatever it is. It just needs to be discussed in general.
Now, how would you go about setting up this advisory committee? Would you go out and get some of the people that like live on some of these bad roads?
Well, I think it needs to be a collective of people from across the county in general. I mean, it's the entire county that's suffering for the most part, so why not have everyone included? I haven't worked out all of the logistics. I'm still, working on that, and I'm not going to pretend to know everything and the solution to everything. But we could do either an advisory that covers the entire county, or we could split it up into the districts and have a group for each district and then have a representative for each one of those groups that get together and discuss what they've come up with.
Now, is this would this
good.
be like something that's done in the past where you're taking people that have money or people that are quote unquote posh to do in our county?
Well, honestly, it's going to be a volunteer base, and at this point, it's going to be the same. I mean, whenever I volunteer at events and stuff, I usually see the same people every time. So if the rest of the community wants to have a say, then they need to get out and they need to volunteer on these boards, and they need to put their input somewhere where it's actually going to be heard.
Yep. Now, you're young. You're not like this Cortez gal that I saw today she just talked about, we're going to raise taxes on everybody when they
ask her. Well, how can we? We can't afford our taxes now.
They asked her today. She's the one that's got the Socialist Communist Party going. Cortez, you probably don't follow too much on her. I follow it because people are going nuts over, we get free school, free health care, all this.
Nothing's free. Who's going to pay for it? Where's the money actually coming from?
Yeah, they ask her, how are you going to pay for it? And she goes, money from the government, of course.
But where does the government get money?
Exactly. And then her other comment was, if we give everybody free money, then everybody will be able to pay for health care, and they'll be able to pay for college and everything else, and then the unemployment rate will go down, and there won't be an unemployment rate.
Well, it's so easy to throw out all of these so-called solutions, but until you work out the logistics and you make sure it's actually going to work, I mean, you're just blowing hot air, that's all.
Yeah. Now, somebody had written in about, and I try to remain unbiased. I remain fair on everything.
Sure.
It says, I called our county commissioners, Larry Harvey, 2 months ago, still waiting to hear from him. He must be busy trying to get reelected. Actions speak louder than words. Okay. In fairness to Larry Harvey, I have heard comments. I've called him a number of times and he hasn't called me back. That's the only complaint I have about Larry.
Right.
But on the flip side of that, and to be fair to him, I've heard a bunch of people say that he's gotten involved to help them out with certain things.
Well, I've told you when I volunteer across the community, there are certain people who I see all of the time, and there are certain people who I don't see all of the time, anytime. Larry is one of the people that I do see all of the time. I will say that. He's always volunteering throughout the community. And this whole election process, campaign process, it's quite something, let me tell you. And it's hard work. But I think if you're already a sitting commissioner, then the best way to keep your seat, to win the election, is to actually do your job. And calling people back and discussing the issues is part of doing your job. Now,
there was another guy that's running for your seat for District 3. His name is Terry
Turner.
Terry Turner.
He's the one who has the seat now.
Yeah, he's actually your cousin, correct?
He is, yes.
Yeah, so yes. We were talking about that earlier, and I asked you about how you feel about running against him. And then there was people saying at some of these forums that, you guys are in cahoots. I don't know how that can be since you're running against your own cousin.
Right, well, I think it should tell you something if I'm running against my cousin. And honestly, it had nothing to do with him. I had already decided that I wanted to run for county commission before he was appointed by the governor. And I figure, why waver my course? Why should I let that set me off just because he was given the job?
Yeah.
And I'm at least going to make him fight for it.
Now, I know that there's been people in District 3. I'm not saying he's not good at his job or anything.
Right.
But he's one of the main ones I've had complaints on, that he does not return phone calls.
Right.
And at one of the forums, I believe a few weeks ago, he was saying, well, he's going to start calling people back. Well, a little too late there, Terry.
Right.
Nothing personal, but we had the one lady that her driveway, and as a matter of fact, I think we have a picture of it where it's washed out. Do you still have that in the thing? And Bill Pickens, which is not even Bill Pickens' district.
Not his district, right?
Yeah, he got involved in it, and that was Terry Turner's district. Man, you're good. He gets the stuff right up. Go to the next one on the right. Yeah, that one right there. That's part of her driveway. And if you go to the next one on the right there, Chris, please, you can see the guy right there. He has some health issues. That's where they regraded his road, and the whole stinking thing keeps washing out. They didn't have
Now,
that
I think
problem
you've
before.
showed me this picture before, and correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't it paved? Didn't they have their driveway paved underneath all of the dirt that's, excuse me,
No.
all of the dirt that's washed into it, or is their driveway just dirt?
No, down from past where the gentleman is at, they had a concrete slab poured because the roads were coming in on the grass and washing it out. And so they spent, I forgot how much money it was, a boatload of money though, getting a slab poured halfway up the driveway. That's all they could afford. And then all of a sudden, the dirt and stuff is washed on top of that. Now it's washing underneath their house and then washing their blocks out. Just
Right.
because they regraded the road wrong.
Right.
Well, she had been trying to get, you can go ahead and take it down. She had been trying to get a hold of Terry Turner to come out and she had been trying to get a hold of the Public Roads Works and stuff, which would never return her calls. Now, I know for 3 weeks I called them on her. I finally called the county. Bill Pickens called me back, and he actually had got a hold of the county and got them over there. Now, they did get her drive straightened out finally. Not that it won't wash out again, but
Right.
hats off to Bill Pickens for, pulling that off. But the only ones that I've ever had contact me back, or I can see that's really doing anything. Now, I base this on our readers and our listeners and stuff, would be Chip Leibel, Larry Harvey, and Bill Pickens.
Right.
And it seems to be everybody that writes in, they say the same thing. It's only those three.
Mm-hmm.
So how are you going to, besides the coming up with your coalition there of different people, which, by the way, I like that idea of having different people from all over the county come in. What are some of your ideas on that to get these roads straightened out?
I think part of what the advisory committee should discuss is maybe hiring a consultant, an expert to come in and say, look, this is what really needs to be done. This is what's going to last, because right now our roads are being built with the knowledge that they're only going to last for a few years, and then we're going to have to redo something. What's the point in that? You're wasting our time and our money. So I think we need to have an expert come in, a consultant or something of the sort come in and say, hey, look, this is the path that you should be going down.
Yeah, one of the other people that had written in asked if you knew where the money for the last 16 years from the Better Place plan has been going, because they're tired of their taxes.
I wish I did, because I've been paying those taxes with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then somebody else wrote in, the website for emergency management is a joke. Please ask about communication with local media when there's hurricanes and stuff like that. That was from Martha.
Right. No, all of that needs to be addressed, and we're approaching we're in the hurricane season now. Luckily, we haven't had any storms come through, but we haven't made any preparations for any storms at all. Not even just emergency services. I mean, flooding, everything. We haven't made any preventative. We haven't taken any preventative measures. And if
Yeah.
I remember correctly, I think last year one of the issues was the shelter. Where are we going to have the shelter and all of that, and the cost of it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, have you decided that this year? Have you worked out the logistics for that this year yet? Because they're coming, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Well, September, I think, is our hot month.
Right. Oh, my son
Mhm.
complains every year because we always get hurricaned out for his birthday.
Well, we're seeing what's
Aw.
going on now with all the flooding and stuff. And by the way, there was an advisory out earlier for Putnam County and then parts of Volusia County, basically for north central Florida. There's
Mhm.
pretty much an advisory every day.
Right.
Well,
Well, it's only going to get worse. I mean, the intensity, the frequency of the severe rains, they're only going to increase throughout the season.
so is that going to be one of the first issues you tackle when you get in office, or?
Oh, I hate that question. That's
I know,
the
that's
worst
why I
question.
asked
That
you.
one, and what are your top 3 issues? Because we're facing so many problems. It's so hard to say, this is what I'm going to do first. And it's hard to say, this is what I'm going to do anyways, because I'm one person, I can't do everything. It's going to take the support of everyone else and the other 4 commissioners if I'm elected. I'm only one person. So it's hard to say, this is what I'm going to do. I can say, this is what I want to do. this is what I would like to see happen, this is what I would want to enact and stuff like that. But I can't choose one. I mean, it's so hard to say this is what I'm going to do first, because there are so many problems that we're facing and they're all interrelated. So they all have to support each other and work together.
Yeah, and one of the other big issues that somebody had written in about to ask you was during the cold weather, during the winter months, we have so many people that are homeless in the county.
Right.
And last year, they said the emergency management didn't do anything, that they relied on the Christian Service Center
Right.
to operate it for the county. And why wasn't there any schools opened up for the homeless to sleep in? Or...
Well, I mean, that goes right back to the same thing as the hurricane shelters. You know it's going to happen. Why aren't you preparing for it?
Yeah,
Exactly.
because somebody else had written in saying that the homeless shelters and the storm shelters, they could use the building that the school board used to be in.
Well,
But
not
that's-
only that, but look at the business district that we have that's just sitting there. It's what? I don't have my notes on me to know the exact acreage, but I think it's like 257 acres or something like that, and there's over 90,000 square feet between the two buildings. Why aren't we using that? It's just sitting there.
Right.
Right now, is that an issue you're planning on tackling? I mean, I know that everybody asks you what's the first 3 things you're going to tackle, and like you
I
said,
have a whole
there's-
list. I mean, it's going to be everything across the board, in all honesty. Everything is going, and nothing is going to go untouched.
Yeah, the importance of the issue, I guess, lies with the person that's having the problems.
Right. The squeaky
know.
wheel gets the oil.
Yeah, right now I can go without my road getting fixed if they would, if something was done more to help the homeless out.
Right.
And in fairness to the county and stuff, I can understand why the school boards, why some of the schools wouldn't be used. I mean, you have a lot of issues as far as infantile is popping back up again. I've seen a bunch of cases of that pop up. You're probably too young to remember what that is, but that was a bad thing that happened when I was a kid. People get sores on them. I understand that. You got crackheads and meth heads and everything else.
But when you have a collective of the population just shoved into one space like that, I mean, there's bound to be problems, whether it's medical problems, physical problems, mental problems, anything. There's going to be problems.
Yeah, they wouldn't want to put me in there. I have too many mental issues to be locked up in one. But every year we have to, we tried it. It's like pulling teeth last year to find out, the when Irma was going on and our different storms, Matthew and stuff. The person that wrote in about that, Martha, was right. The emergency management didn't do, and I'm not knocking them because I do think they do a great job, but there was very little on their page to where, plus if you can even get to it,
Right.
you don't want to wait till the last minute to say, okay, well, I've got an emergency here. Where do I go for a shelter? But
Right.
even to put it up in advance.
Which is very sad because it's 2018, and I know I harp on the internet all the time, but it's 2018. Where do you go to look up anything? Whether it's trying to learn something, trying to visit a business, trying to get somewhere, no matter what it is, where do you go to find the answer?
Yeah.
Right.
And I remember during Irma and stuff and Matthew that some of the people that were trying to call this Christian Service Center, they weren't answering their phones, and I finally got a hold of them and I asked them why, and they said because we were out busy with the sheriff's department picking up the homeless, picking
Right.
up people that were stranded, medically needed.
And I'm not necessarily going to say that it should all fall onto the county's shoulders or anything like that, because, like I said, it's going to take the communities. The communities have to come together, and they have to step up, and they have to do their part. It can't always just be, woe is me, I expect you to do something. You have to help yourself first.
And it's a year-round job.
It
April.
is.
It's not something that has to be done just in hurricane season or just in the winter when it's cold.
Right.
This is something that has to be addressed all the time, all year round, because these are things that if you wait until the last minute, then it's a rush and you have to. It gets done haphazardly.
Right. You're
If this is
reacting. You're reacting
something-
to an action that has occurred already.
Exactly. If this is something that we address on a year-round basis, then this is something that can be done in an organized fashion. And I'm talking specifically to the disaster situations and the homeless situations and the shelters and what have you. If this is something that's addressed on a year-round basis that can be done in an organized fashion, the Christian Service Center does an absolutely fantastic job
Yes,
in
they do.
everything that they do in the county.
They do.
But
Yeah.
they're overwhelmed. They
It
can't
is.
do it all.
Well, and I think a lot of it too, I mean, a lot of the preventative measures are quite simple. They're common sense for the most part. And if we just look at our history, which everyone should learn history, because if you don't, it's going to repeat itself, which is,
Right.
it seems that that's what's happening now. But if we look at our history and say, okay, these are the disasters that have hit our county in the past however so long, let's see what we can do to prevent them and to prepare for them. I mean, look at the wildfires and stuff like that. Knock on wood, we haven't really had any major ones here recently, but we have had them in the
Right.
past, and they've gotten pretty scary and they've gotten pretty close to home. We need to start looking at stuff like that as well. I mean, just everything. See what's happened in our history and try to prevent those things.
Well, Michael Lee just sent in a thing, and he does have a good valid point here. He says, okay, I'll be the devil's advocate and ask the obvious questions. If you buy property on a dirt road, why do you suddenly think the county should spend millions building you a nice bump-free paved road? If the road was a concern, why didn't you pay more for your property on a paved road? Why should taxpayers foot the bill because you bought property on a dirt road? Seems like a fair question.
No, that is completely a valid question. That is, because, yeah, I mean, if you buy a piece of property on a dirt road, then that's what you have. And like I said, we can't really just say, oh, well, this person is paying more in taxes, let's pave their road first. We need to address it by traffic volume or emergency service access and stuff like that. You know, we need to prioritize how the roads are going to be paved and everything.
Well, when I got the property that I'm on, years ago I was told that the road was going to be paved. Our Better Place plan is going to
and
blind
that's
it.
the second part to it. You know, sure, you buy this piece of property here, and you're paying these taxes that are specifically supposed to go towards the roads that are supposed to be paved and fixed. So you should expect that. You should expect it to happen by buying this piece of property because you're paying the taxes to make it happen. So I can understand the disappointment when it comes from that side also. So, I mean, they're both valid sides. They're both, I mean, two things can be true at the same time, I guess.
Yeah, and I agree with him on that as far as if I would have bought a piece of property, say, someplace that wasn't an incorporated area. You know, it's unincorporated, it's rural residential.
You expect it to be that way.
I expect it to be that way.
Sure.
And I've got a tractor. I've got a box blade. I've got, you know, all that stuff.
And most people who move into a piece of property expecting that already, they're going to have the equipment and the stuff that they need to maintain that piece of property and the access to their property.
But I was told by the county quite a few years ago when I used to keep my road graded and stuff. They told me that I can't do that because that becomes a liability for myself. If somebody has a wreck on the road that I graded, then it's my fault.
So what, we just leave it ungraded and leave the liability to the county who doesn't have money to pay for a liability claim or anything else?
Yeah, so
I mean,
and if I do anything, which my neighbors liked it at the time because the roads were always smooth.
right.
But then the county had made me stop. Now, that wasn't under this current administration. It was under another one. But they actually came out. Now, at that time, boy, let me tell you, I cranked the tractor up and I graded it. And one person called in because they said I was blocking them as they were trying to get around.
Right.
But the fact that Mike Lee made is a good, valid point. But the property that I bought and these other properties, those are county-maintained roads. When people bought those houses, they were buying on those roads because the county is supposed to maintain them.
Right.
So the tax dollars are already sitting there. They've already been appropriated, allocated, whatever you want to say about it. They've already been set in place for those roads.
Right.
But doesn't seem
But it's
like
not happening.
right. And a lot of the problems that I see, like somebody wrote in and said that the people who grade don't know how to grade the roads. The guy they had before, he was really good. He knew how to peak the road in the center. Now these other guys are cutting the roads level. Instead of peaking them at the center, they're cutting them level, and the water doesn't run off, and it sits there, and then it builds up in certain spots, and then you have big washouts.
Right.
So that's the other thing,
You know, honestly,
too.
to me, it sounds like more of a job for the private sector.
Yeah.
It'd probably be more cost efficient as well because, you know, it always costs government to do anything. It costs them more time and money to do anything than it costs the private sector.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how they do that because they never will call me back to let me ask any questions. So if you guys get a chance, I mean, you can try getting a hold. If you have bad roads, you can try getting a hold of Press Tompkins or Mike.
I think I have the phone number here. Let me see. It's 329-0346.
Yep, 329-0346. You could try calling. Good luck.
And the address is 223 Putnam County Boulevard, East Palatka.
Damn, she's good. That's where you guys need to go.
Well, you know, I like to go by statistics and facts and stuff like that. And by doing that, you know, we're pretty low in the rankings and everything else. So when I give off the statistics and the facts, it seems pretty negative, and everyone says, oh, she's just bashing Putnam County. There's a lot of great things here in Putnam County. She shouldn't be saying all of this. But the sad reality of it is, these are the facts that we have to realize and we have to face before we can change anything. If we don't realize that we're so low on the rankings and everything else, how are we going to fix it ever?
Yep, that's true.
We can't live in oblivion.
And if they don't get people in there like you that want to do the changes, and like I say, you know, Larry Harvey, he's helped out on a couple issues. Chip Liable, Bill
But the problem
Pickens.
is every time you talk to one of them, it's, oh no, Putnam County's doing great. We're coming up. Great things are happening. Okay, well, you may see that on your end, but we don't see it on our end as the communities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's a little ball of fire, isn't she, Tammy?
Yeah.
I hope you get elected. I hope
Thank
people,
you.
and I even put that in there today in the short little article that I did up there, is that people can't expect changes if they sit on their lazy butts at home and
Right.
then later come back and bitch about it. Well, I don't like this. I don't like that. It's because they're not getting involved in the elections.
Well, no one can help you
That's
if you're not
right.
going to help yourself.
Exactly.
And that's with any issue that you're facing, no matter what it is.
Yeah, and what people
That's
don't
right.
understand is that even though you're only running for District 3, that you're also in with the county, so you have other decisions that you make for other districts
Right.
and all across the county.
Well, anything we do, I mean, even if it is only for District 3, what we do in District 3 is going to affect every other district in the county. So what we do county-wide is going to affect every district in the county. So it's all it's all interrelated, and that's how we have to look at it. What we do over here is going to cause a chain reaction and cause something over here.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, I can't wait to see you get in there.
Thank you. I'm really excited. I hope it happens.
There's a ton of questions. What I'm going to do is compile all these because I know you have to get going, and you have children and a husband that you take care of.
I need to get some sleep. It's been a long week.
I know you just went to a couple forums this past week as well, didn't
Yeah,
you?
a lot of that, and you know, summer activities, of course, with the children and everything. I am still a mom, and everyone out there is a mom or a dad or a brother or sister. There's something. So you know, you have your family that you have to deal with too.
Oh, yeah, I got a ton of kids. I'm not even Catholic either.
Well, I'm Mormon. I mean, I guess that's something.
But it's always been a privilege having you on the air. Do we have any
Definitely.
more questions that we need to get up? Because I'm not going to.
There,
There's a ton of them, but
yeah, there is. There's just a ton of them.
I'm sitting there
They
looking
keep
at.
popping up one after another.
I know
Well,
it
I'm
keeps-
on Facebook and everything else, so I mean, they can send
Yeah.
the questions to me, and I can try and get to them. I mean, a lot of them seem to be the same questions, and I understand why, of course, because everyone has the issues that they want addressed. But if we can consolidate the questions, I'd be more than willing to try and put them into like Facebook post or something like that, and we can address each issue in its own post and see where we can go from there.
Hopefully
That
we can
sounds like
get.
a good idea.
Hopefully we can get the green screen down behind her. April Iser, willing to put out hell, Putnam County hell, fire and brimstone with a squirt gun.
Well, I told you I'm straightforward. You know, I have a really hard time with chit chat and small talk and stuff like that because it's just say what I need to say and be done with it. And I try to sugarcoat things sometimes, and it just doesn't work at all.
Yeah, that's what I like about you. You're like, I don't know.
What you
I'm
see
not
is what
gonna
you get, basically.
I'm not going to say a female Trump, but because you don't have that bashing in you, but she's like a little spitfire.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not going to call names. I'm not going to throw punches. I'm going to tell you the facts and the statistics, and that's what we have to face at this point. It's not me bashing Putnam County or anyone in Putnam County. It's me saying, hey, this is what's wrong, and this is what needs to be fixed.
Right.
So-
And exactly. I'm not calling out anybody, you know, not even Terry Turner. I'm not calling him out or anything else, but the issues are there.
They
and
are.
I'm glad you're willing to tackle them and not try to hide behind them, because too many times I've gone to forums, I've gone, whether it's national or just small town, these little firehouse meetings and stuff. The problem is that too many candidates try to skate around things. And I
Right.
see it on the fake news, whether it's, whether no matter which one it is, Fox, CNN, NBC, CBS. They have these people that come on and they try to skate around the issues and they want to talk about everything else. I like the fact that you answer the questions direct.
Well, and I'm not going to pretend to know everything. Like I've told you before, I'm not an expert in everything. I'm not going to pretend to know everything, but I love to read, I love to research, and I will learn whatever it is that I need to learn to successfully do this job, and I'm really excited about doing it. And it's just get to the point and fix it.
Well, I like the fact that, most of your family was born in Florida. You're 7th generation from Putnam County.
Right,
You've lived here all your life.
right.
I hate the fact that if you don't get elected, you're going to haul butt
Most likely.
and
know.
move out of the county.
Well, I hate it too
But-
because, like I said, my children are 8th generation Putnam County residents, and for us to have to break that line because we can't survive here, I mean, that's heartbreaking. It really is.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you very much for coming on tonight. I know you got to get going. We kind of kept you a little bit longer than we should
Oh,
have.
that's okay. No, I enjoy being here. Thank you for having me back.
Tell your husband and your children I'm sorry, but we had some important issues.
They'll be okay.
Okay, well, thank you for coming on, and we'll see you. I've got to
Thank
try
you.
to get you squeezed in here again. Okay, anyone wanting to find out more about April can go on April's Facebook page. And this description is going to be below this video.
And I think
So-
the 30th, if you are registered for either whichever party you're registered for, if there's a candidate that you want to vote for in the other party, you have until the 30th to change your registration, and then you can change it back after the primaries for the general election, and you can run as your normal party. But that's if you have someone who's running in a party that you don't get to vote for in your party, you can switch. But the early voting is the 16th through the 25th, and the primaries are the 28th.
Now you have something coming up on the 30th too.
Yes,
Where you get out of
there's
here.
a forum in Bostwick on the 30th. Actually, I brought my date book this time. I remembered. I think there's a forum on the 30th that starts at 6:30 in Bostwick. Let me check that time just to be sure.
She actually has a book, Tammy. She's not like me with
well,
little
we're a
pieces
family
of
of
paper
6.
everywhere.
We have to be
Ooh,
organized.
she's organized.
Yeah, all I've
I
got
like
is
that.
I've got a ton of sticky notes.
Oh, I have those too. Don't worry. And then I have to go through after a while and say, okay, let's sort this out. The Bostwick Forum is at 5:30, and then there's a forum on the 7th for the Palatka Daily News, and that's at the St. John State College campus. And most of these should be on the Supervisor of Elections website. He should have most of the forums listed up there.
Yeah,
He
the
does.
only way you guys are going to know who is by getting out and not only doing your research, but go to these forums. Most of them only last for an hour. Go to these forums and ask the candidate the questions. If you don't, I haven't had one of, even though we have one of the biggest news sources in North Central Florida with the Putnam Way, I haven't had any of them contact me. I don't know if they're afraid or not, but we have a sample of the ballot coming up.
Right.
I believe that has your name on it too, doesn't it?
I think so. It should.
Yes, it does. Right there in the very top line. So you guys look at that ballot when you go out. See the bottom right hand? Man, they stuck you all the way down at the bottom right corner. That sucks. Should have been April Iser right across the top. When you guys
Right.
go out there, mark the ballot box. Know your candidate. Do not pick a party. Pick the candidate that's going to do the best for you.
Well, and I'll tell you, throughout the forums, like a lot of the issues that I've come across that Putnam County is facing, honestly, I've collected them through the questions that are asked at the forum. I make it a point to attend the forums and to write down the questions, whether I'm being asked the question or not. Some of them are District 2 and District 4 forums, but I still go and I still write down the questions so that I can prepare, because this is the only way to know the issues is through community involvement.
Right. Well, I want to thank you for coming on, April.
Excellent.
Thank you for having me.
Miss Iser, I don't know what I'm supposed to call you,
Well,
but you're
as long as it's nice, I'll think about answering to it.
you're you're a little ball of fire, and I hope our listeners and our readers, whether it's IITW radio or the Putnam Way, I hope they get out and vote for you. I mean, you got my vote.
Thank
Tammy
you.
lived here. You'd have her vote. I know you got
Yeah,
everybody's vote in the
definitely.
studio.
Thank you. I really appreciate
Even
it.
Mama B wrote in and said, "What a little sweetheart. I love her. She's got my vote. She's a keeper." A few of them. We haven't heard from Betty tonight. All right. Well, thank you very much, April, for coming in, and we will see you. I'll get with you sometime on Monday.
Sure.
Okay.
All right,
Thank
thanks
you,
for having
April.
me. Bye, Tammy.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was April Iser. Vote for her for District 3.
And I did
Coming
just
up.
put her link to her campaign page up on the Putnam Way too on the post for the show.
Yeah. She's a great young lady. God, I hope she gets in.
She is. She's wonderful.
I think
We love April.
she'll actually call people back versus,
I do.
you know, not that when they don't call you back, they're not doing their job. Larry, call me. Actually, I like Larry Harvey. I like Chip Liable and, what are you doing? I look down for a second. I hear you laughing. Yeah, right. Double call me. It don't make me laugh. We got other stuff we got to take care of here real quick.
Okay.
But Bill Pickens also. I know Bill Pickens. Anytime I've ever called Bill or Chip, they've returned the phone call.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And we would
Yeah,
like to say
and-
thank you to everyone who sent us pictures also. So
Yeah,
that
we still have a ton of them
those
that
up.
we didn't even get up. But we'll put those
Yeah.
up after we go to commercial break. But one of the suggestions that April had was that the community should have an access to a poll when dealing with issues, and she's absolutely right about that. If they've got a place they can write in, voice their opinion, and get polls taken, on what's the number one priority. Everybody's priorities are different. Mine
Right.
is getting my road fixed. And it's a little selfish for me wanting to get my road fixed when I look at these other crappy roads. Put that one up, Chris. Right there. When we have stuff like that, just shoot through those pictures real quick so we can get everybody's pictures up.
Well, like
I
I,
mean,
was telling you
even
when
this
we were
one, I
talking
mean-
about this, when you've got a hole in the road that a
hold on
man
for a
can
minute.
stand in and his head not show, that's really dangerous. And they really need to prioritize things like that.
Right. Well, let's go commercial real quick. We have America's Air. They do air conditioning. They do all kinds of stuff. Service calls, repairs. They have a free service call with a repair. They have $100 off any repair. They have a coupon for $75 on AC heating, 20-point tune-up inspection and complete systems, and a yearly preventative maintenance, which is 50% off right now. So you guys give Jeremiah a call over there. They do service Putnam County as well as Jacksonville, Ocala, St. Augustine, all over the place. I'm sure if you got an air conditioner, he'd come and check you out. Then we have Mr. Bird's. Mr. Bird is kick butt. I got to tell you a story. I got to make sure I get permission from him about something that happened to him when they were out at a thing over in St. Johns County. Anyways, it's kind of comical, but it's kind of sad in a way too, what the sheriff's department did to him over there. But it was nothing. He didn't do anything illegal. Anyways, Mr. Bird, if you're looking to rent to own, they have rent to own ones, so you can go in there. No credit check, and they also have finance companies that they work with. If your credit's any good, you can go through a finance company and get that. But if you buy one of their buildings, you put it out in the back of your house. Then whenever you need to get something out of it, or she sheds, get one, ladies. Have your guys, or go build it yourself. Put yourself in a she shed or a man cave, guys. Or if you need to rent a gazebo or a greenhouse. So, okay, then we have Mr. Williams. Greg Williams, attorney at law. Greg, you want to give his commercial tonight?
talking to me?
Yeah. Who else would I be talking to?
I don't know. Maybe you could have been talking to Chris. Greg Williams, attorney at law. He does everything except murder cases. If you kill someone, don't ask him to represent you. Greg Williams, attorney at law. His number is 904-358-8180, and his website is personalinjurycasesjacksonville.com. That is Greg Williams, attorney at law.
I got caught drinking water. Yeah, Greg's pretty kick butt. And the last one we have is the stand. And I know my cardiologist is watching, so that was water in there. The stand. You were telling the other night about the watermelon and stuff you got. And the pineapple.
Yeah, and the pineapple. Oh my gosh. Pineapple.
Yeah, I took some pictures. I didn't get a chance to put them up today.
I'm having tomato cravings from the stand.
Not me. I got some from there today, but you know what? I screwed up. I walked out, and they had pineapples sitting there. And after I got home, started storming. I mean, just flooding. And I went to go in there because I thought I got one. I was like, crap, I forgot the pineapple there. But I did get some radishes. Man, those things were good. And bananas. Got corn. I know it sucks for you because you're already across the state. But when you come over in a couple of weeks, we'll have, you're gonna be down at the stand. Hell, that's the first place you hit and the last place before you leave. By the way, did you get your washing machine fixed? Or is your house still flooding?
I am waiting to find out.
Okay.
I'm waiting to see if the last remedy that we tried is going to work.
That sucks. It even sucks in the big city.
Yes, it does.
It's not just in the small towns we have crap going on.
And I have to be the plumber and the washing machine repair person and the auger pusher, and I do it all. I'm a jack of all trades and master of none.
Yeah, I remember mine went out, but my house is 4 feet off the ground, so if I flood, I just open the door, it all rushes outside.
It doesn't work that way for me.
That's because you live in
It's okay.
It's because you live in the city.
I know.
But
I'm on high ground too, though.
Yep. Okay. There's been a bunch of stuff in the news and people freaking out and losing their ever-loving friggin' minds over the last few days about the stinking lunar eclipse. Oh, the world's coming to an end because it is now blood moon.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
It's
this
happening.
This is a very rare occurrence. You're right.
This is actually the longest total lunar eclipse. It's going to last an hour and 43 minutes. But unfortunately, we can't get to see it here.
No, I was going to say not in North America. There's already been some really cool pictures online.
Yeah. Well, that picture we just put up. Put that back up, Chris. That was one that was taken this evening over in where? Pakistan or Africa? Yeah, that was taken over in Africa. And the lunar eclipse, I've seen some pictures of it today, and it is badass. But
it's
they're
real
saying,
pretty.
yeah, but all these people are freaking out like they did in 1999, right before we hit the year 2000, and then in 2015, the world's going to end, the planets are lining up. People, get over it. If the world's going to end, there's nothing you can do. Bend over, stick your head between your legs, and kiss your butt goodbye. There's absolutely nothing you're going to do. You know what, Tammy? I ought to make a prediction right now, just to scare the hell out of people.
Be careful.
The world is going to end. Pick a date. Just give a random
I don't
date.
want to. No. I don't do that kind of stuff. Sorry.
Don't make me go hunt Cletus down and have him pick a date on when the Earth's going to end.
I'm not picking a date. No, I don't do that kind of stuff. You know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
I've told you how I feel about that. The Bible says you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah. Hey, some good stuff happened today, though. Actually, it happened last night. Our troops were able to go over and collect the remains
From Korea.
Yeah, from our fallen veterans and stuff that they've had for, God, since the Korean War.
Long time.
Yeah, they've had them, and they finally, the bodies got to be return home, or their ashes, their remains got to be returned home today. They were actually giving them out to.
That's awesome.
I believe they went to Hawaii first for DNA testing. You know, because a lot of them aren't labeled. You know, a lot of them got burned up. A lot of them are just bones, but they did get their remains returned, and the families are going to now start being able to put. You know, even though a lot of those family members are dead, passed on, but at least these people can be laid to rest on U.S. soil. That's one of the things that frickin' pisses me off. Yeah, tonight's what's pissing me off. God, I haven't even really gotten pissed off, but damn it, here it comes. That is one of the frickin' things that pisses me off about the damn NFL and these a-holes taking a knee. Put that picture back up there, Chris. Yeah. I want you guys that are... Try not to cuss. I want you guys to look at these pictures. Those are coffins that the American flag is draped over. Mm-hmm. When that national anthem is sang, however you want to say it, that's disgracing those men and women that have died for our country. That flag gets draped over those coffins. They went and fought for that flag, for your freedom. Don't be an asshole and kneel. Because you know what? I'm not watching one stinking NFL game this year. If I hear, I might watch one or two games. It depends on. And nobody loves football. Tammy will tell you this. Nobody loves football more than me. See this hat? Alabama. I wear it religiously. Mm-hmm. I have not missed a game. But the minute I see an Alabama player kneel, I'm done with it. If the NFL, those guys are not there to entertain, and this is not one of our topics tonight, but they are not there to do their political crap. They're there to entertain me. I want to see a broken leg. You know, yeah, go ahead and put that up. You're an American football team. You don't mind our money, yet you won't support our country. Shame on you. And you look at those NFL players, and I don't give a crap what team it is. Damn it. You don't do that. You're there to entertain. You're making millions and millions and millions while our American veterans are out here in the frickin' woods living and getting crap health care, which it is getting better now. But you're sitting there in your $1 million mansions and stuff, and then you're going to have the audacity to kneel down when the national anthem is being sung and people have died for you so that you could take your little snot-nosed ass out there. You know, stand up.
If that's how you feel about it, do it on your own time.
And did you see what the signs are in that picture below there, Tammy? The signs saying "stand up." Signs all over the place saying.
I can't see it.
Yeah, I don't know if Chris can make it any bigger, but it doesn't matter at this point. I think he's going to try to. There you go. He's got it. But you football players, stand up. Or stay on your knees and turn around and look around, because that is what pays your paycheck.
That's right.
The blood, your paycheck has also been paid by the blood of our veterans, be it male or female, and people here in this country that never have gone and fought on other soil, but the people that have fought for your rights here, whether it be EMS or any of them, and for you not to do that is a disgrace.
Yes, it is.
And I hope they fire your sorry asses and take away your paychecks. And for you people that are on the left or the right going to call in and tell me that I shouldn't be saying that, kiss my ass. I don't care. That's just how I feel about it. Those soldiers that came back from Korea today, their blood is what paid the price for you to be able to go out there and fight and entertain on a football field. You're not fighting, you're entertaining. And you're getting paid millions to live in your little sweet-ass mansions while our veterans are still there sleeping in the woods and stuff, or eating cans of beans. Jesus Christ, people piss me off. Okay, let me move on before I have to freaking drop some nitro. Let's see. Ooh, we still got a couple minutes before we do. We got the blood moon taken care of. Where'd my highlighter go to? Look what color they gave me for a highlighter.
Ooh, my favorite color.
Yeah.
No, actually purple's my favorite color. That's pink.
Yeah, well, as long as we don't have purple in the studio, I'm fine.
No.
We got the blood moon knocked out. Okay. Let's put the Queen's Guard up. We got that one on video.
Oh, that's a good one.
Before we
I
put
like
it
that
up,
one.
though, before we put it up and play it, the Queen's Guard they do their march out in front of the castle and all this stuff. This gal decides to stand on the other side of the rope. Now, when they put ropes up, people, they are dividing the place where you can stand and where you can't stand. If you stand your dumb ass in the way, they are not going to stop. And I told you the story about me taunting the guy when I was in England from the King's Castle, the Queen's Castle there. You don't want to do that. That guy told me, without moving his lips, he told me he was going to shoot me in my groin. And I'm like, oh, damn. Okay. He said, I haven't had anything else better to do today. I need to shoot somebody. It's been years. I'm like, oh, crap.
Oh.
I was young and stupid at the time. But this,
I wouldn't have wanted to be you.
no. That was my dumb ass. Go ahead and put this video up. You guys watch this gal that gets in the way here. I don't feel sorry for her.
Me either.
And and wait for it. There it goes. There it goes. Let it play one more time because this is too good. He looks like he has a microphone condom on his head. And wait for it. Here it comes.
I mean, he just
3.
shoves her right out of the way.
Yeah, she went flying. You know
Oh,
what?
yeah. He doesn't just bump into her. He shoves her out of the way.
His arm never missed a lick swinging.
Uh-uh.
I bet you if she had fallen down, he would have just kept stomping right on her, too.
I wonder.
I mean, he wasn't stopping. I mean, get my way.
It didn't mess up his tread or anything. He just kept right on going.
That's some serious moving there. That guy is not gonna, ugh. I'm glad it wasn't me. We got our commercials coming up. Let's go ahead and take care of these. We're at that time. Wait,
That was
I'm
quick.
being told I got 2 minutes. Okay, cool. Let's put up the mom here. I wanted to save her app for afterwards, but yeah, let's just save her for afterwards. April Iser, before we go to commercial. You guys, there's roads, and like the guy that wrote in and said, we try to be fair, everything, straight across the board. We try to remain unbiased.
Mm-hmm.
We're not here to bash any of the county commissioners. We take our personal grievances out on other people. And we're not in business to sit there and trash people. That's not it. But they're in business. Some of them are like, oh, well, they inherited this. No, they didn't. They campaigned for it. Just like Miss Iser. She's campaigning for it. Spend a lot of money to get in there and make promises. When you don't call your constituents back, then there's a problem.
That's right.
You're not going to get anybody's vote by not calling back. And then by waiting till it's time for election and say, oh, I'm going to start calling back now. Well, it's a little too late at that. If you have a job and your job is for roadworks, like Mr. Press Tompkins or Mike Nimitz, you guys not calling me back. I'm calling you not as a radio guy, not as a writer for a newspaper. I'm calling you back because my son almost got killed and chopped to death into little pieces because of what was allowed to happen in front of my house. And that's where your graders, your people, it's your job to call me back. Not for me to have to wait for 2 stinking years. If I can get a petition signed, if I wanted to make it personal, with, 1 million readers, Tammy?
Oh, yeah.
I could get a petition signed in a heartbeat to get your butt thrown out of office. I've given you more chances in 2 years than I give anybody to call me back. But you don't call back. So what I'm going to start doing is asking all my readers all of our readers, because this is my personal thing, not with Tammy, but I'm going to start asking these people when they got problems to call you up and to get petitions signed. And if you can't do your job, then somebody else will take your job and they will do your job for you. Somebody that wants to do it. But there's no excuse, no freaking excuse for not calling me back for 2 years. There's no excuse for not calling these other people back for 2 years. And I'm not going to make it personal. I have an attorney. I have several attorneys. I have my attorney that's on here on Tuesday nights. You guys are welcome to come and watch him. But if one of my kids gets hurt or I get hurt because of something that you created, I've never sued anybody in my life. But bet your butt, one of my kids gets hurt, you know, it's your butt, not mine. That's not a threat. I see myself as being a psychic. I can see what I'm going to do. I can't predict anybody else's crap, but I can tell you what I'm going to do if my son had have gotten chopped up by a lawnmower because of a situation they created. I mean, the stinking road by my mailbox, the mail person has to get out or stick their hand way up to get into my mailbox now, where it used to be eye level with them when she could pull up. Now it's a foot above the top of their car. Bunch of crap. Okay, let me see who we got now. We have our, before we go to do commercials, let's see. Does that say ass on it? Oh, ads. Looks like ass to me. Okay, I'm a guy. I don't get it. Animal Health Care Center.
Well, that just answered a whole bunch of questions.
What? You know I'm messed up.
Yes, you are messed up.
Psychiatrist told me that I was normal, though. Duh.
Boy, was he wrong.
Okay. We have Animal Health Center. Dr. Nagy and Dr. Smith. They're the ones that take care of all my animals. And they are great people. Dr. Nagy, still can't say enough about her for saving my dog's life. You know, Cracker is not a pet. You know, she's part of my family. She sleeps in the house. Hell, I can't get her off my sofa half the time. You saw it. I bought that brand new sofa. Got the brand new sofa in my house. Tried to keep her off of it. Got the little dog bed or the big dog bed and everything. Psh, forget about it. She's all over it. But I'm happy that she's able to get on it now because Dr. Nagy saved her life. You know, but they do dental x-ray, spaying, neutering, dental cleanings, small animal orthopedics, and they also board. And the other thing is, guys, it is hot out there right now. Don't leave your animals sitting in your cars while you run into the store. Not even for 10 minutes. You know, I saw a gal coming out of a store yesterday, and luckily she came out before I busted her window out. Because when I pulled up, the dog was sitting there and his tongue was hanging down about his feet. Little tiny little, I don't know, what's the dogs that look like they've been chasing parked cars with a flat nose?
Like a pug?
Pekingese.
Pekingese.
Those dogs crack me up.
I will bust a window out, and I used to be a volunteer firefighter, and I know how to bust a window out.
Oh, trust me, I gave her a piece of my mind. She was like, I was only in there for 5 minutes, and I'm like, you know, 5 minutes, that dog can bake to death.
Yep.
I mean, I forget what the temperature difference is, but it can increase 20 to 40 degrees inside of a vehicle in 5 minutes.
Yes.
You know, especially in darker colored vehicles. But also, the Animal Health Center there, they also have low-cost vaccines. So you don't have to go and spend a fortune, but make sure you get your, you know, your animals vaccinated. Rabies, we've had problems with rabies in the county. Something your animals definitely need. You know what? They told me one time when I went in there, I thought I had to go in there every year. They educated my dumb ass and told me that, you know, every 3 to 5 years on the rabies. I've had.
If it's up to date.
If it's up to date, yeah. If they're up to date on them. I had another vet in Volusia County tell me, oh, no, that's bullcrap. You have to go every year, at least every 2 years. But after, you know, Dr. Nagy had told me that when I went in there It's been a while back when I go in there to get the flea control for my dogs. And I looked it up and researched it, and sure enough, she was right. So I'm glad that I've got them. And Dr. Smith. Okay, we have Hair by Barbie. Barbie, I hope you're back. Please call me. I'm going to call you in the morning. I need to get my hair cut before I look like a woman. Or back in the 70s and 80s when I was a hippie.
You were never a hippie.
Oh, no, I was a hairband guy, though.
There you go. That's a
used to
whole
see me.
different thing.
I had long blonde hair. Hell, was pretty in most.
Not even close.
It was pretty in women's. I never saw a woman that had pretty as hair as I did. Hell, I did the oil treatments, all kinds of stuff. I thought
There's a
I was.
different word for that these days.
I thought I was so hot back then. Turned out, geez, Louise. I was mistaken. Now look at me. I'm like 300 years old, gray hair. What hasn't turned gray is turning loose. So, and we got.
You put me in such an odd position sometimes, but go ahead.
Oh, how's that?
You say things like that.
Okay.
I could comment in so many different ways, but go ahead.
It's Friday night. It's out on the porch. I don't care. I hope people are sitting around drinking a beer right now or drinking a glass of wine or doing whatever it is they do. I don't care. I don't care if they smoke a big fat one.
You did think you were hot back then. And in some ways you were hot back then.
Yeah, that was years ago.
And then in some ways you really did think you were hot back then.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Some of it was for real. Some of it was all in your mind.
Yeah, most of it in my mind.
No, some of it was for real too.
But then I done went and growed up.
No, you still got some of it.
Yeah, okay, we got Bob's ad coming up. Chris? We'll let Chris do the ad.
Should be good. I just turn it up. And nope. What is going on?
Okay, just read it
Is this one? Wait, hold on. Something's going wrong. Trying to fix it. 1, 2, 1, 2. Is this the proper way? Whoa! Wow! Okay, I'll deal. Eastside Collision and Towing 24 hours with the towing available 386-227-0003. They specialize in towing, collision work, custom painting, mechanical work, located at 286 Highway 17 South, East Palaca, Florida, 32131. They get free estimates. Call Bob Baldwin, the owner.
Call Hot Pocket Bob. That's going to be his new name. We're going to start calling him Hot Pockets. Because he hasn't called me back in 2 days. I got to call him out on the air for that. Anyways, Bob, no, he has 24-hour available towing. He has specialized in towing, custom paint, collision, and mechanic work. Did we do cars? Oh, at the end, yeah. We got something special coming up from cars, but we're going to wait and do theirs at the very end of the show. We have a cool, I didn't even tell you about this, Tammy. We've got a cool giveaway coming from Cars, Community Auto Specialist.
Mm-hmm.
Real cool one. I'll get to that in a little bit. Holy crap, we're going to have to get to it pretty soon. Okay, we got some stuff to go through. Next Friday night, Joe Wells, Putnam County Sheriff's Department, is going to be on here. Joe is the man. You know, Joe has always called us back whenever we call him. You know, he keeps our readers. He sends us the stuff over. Our readers are always informed. Joe is a hell of a guy. He's been with the Sheriff's Department for a long time. And he is going to be in the studio with us. Yeah, this coming Friday, is that right?
Correct.
Next Friday night, he's going to be in the studio with us for an hour.
We also have
Okay.
You guys aren't going to want to miss that one because he's got some, huh?
we also have a special guest coming in on Monday that we can't disclose. We also have a special guest coming in Monday. We can't disclose the name.
Yeah, we also have an anonymous guest coming in on Monday. I'm not going to say who it is. We're probably not even going to use their name. But we'll let you know more about that Monday when it happens. Rick Surrency is going to be here on August 27th. He is the superintendent of the school board, and I like Rick. Rick has done a lot of good stuff. I've seen a lot of changes. The man has taken a lot of abuse from a lot of people, and I don't think it's really fair. If I thought anything else, you guys know I would be the first to say so. You know that, Tammy.
Mm-hmm.
I have no problem with it. Is the weather advisory over?
As far as
Porch
I know,
County.
I haven't heard anything recently.
Yeah, they said it was supposed to end at 5:45, so I'll give you guys this weather forecast right now. Here's for the next, till at least Wednesday. It sucks. Every day it's going to rain. Every day the roads are going to get flooded. Don't drive through the flooded roads. It's dangerous. That's how most people get killed during like hurricanes and flash floods and all that stuff. They're in their cars. They try to make it through flooded roads. You don't know if that road has a washout underneath of it and you're going to drop 15 feet down. Look at the pictures that we put up tonight. Put that one up of the one back by the stop sign there.
This one?
Yeah, that one. If you're driving along and that puddle is there on the road, don't go flying through the puddles, because if you hit something like that, guess what? Game over. You're into a wreck, or your car's going to get trashed out. You know, where's the other picture at? I want to put that one up as well. I think people need to see a lot of these.
You see it.
Okay, keep that one right there, the one we had up earlier. Imagine driving down the road and that water's up on that one. Yeah, there you go. Chris does such a good job with this stuff. Imagine that water's back there, and you can see where half the road is missing. You're driving along, and all of a sudden your car goes over sideways into that crap because the water's up. And guess what? Game over. You're floating upside down somewhere. Okay. Now, where's our time thing? How much we got left on the show?
Wait, hold on. There.
Okay. Okay, so that does it for the weather. It's going to rain every day. Lightning. Stay out of the lightning. It's horrible. So we got Joe Wells. We got Rick Surrency out of the way. The cars thing. Let's go ahead and do that real quick, because we got somebody in the studio that's going to do the McDonald's thing here in a little bit. But I'll get to that. Cars giveaway. I talked to Jason today, and they are going to give, you guys can go on here and sign up for it, or you can go on the Putnam Way and sign up for it. Go ahead and put their ad up. The cars, they are going to give away an alignment, an oil change, tire rotation, inspection, and all that. Let's see. We were going to run that for 2 weeks, Tammy.
Okay.
But that's a $160 value.
Cool.
But give them the information on cars. Go ahead and tell them where they're located and stuff at. Because we have somebody that's going to be in the studio here. They're going to talk about the whole McDonald's thing in a minute.
Okay. Cars is located in Palatka on Krill Avenue. They're right next to the Taco Bell. If everybody knows where the Taco Bell is at, you will be able to find them. Cars is, and they have 3 locations actually. Give me just a second here. Let me pull up my information since I wasn't ready for this.
But yeah, they're going to give away an oil change, front end alignment, tire rotation, and inspect the whole car. It's $160 worth of stuff.
Yeah. Hang on here. Trying to pull up the.
Okay. They're community autos
Hello.
repair specialists. They're open. I got it right in front of me. They're open Monday through Friday,
Uh-huh.
8 a.m. to 5 p.m. It should be up on your main screen. Sunday or Saturday from 8 to 3, and they're closed on Sundays. But they do all kinds of stuff. They do front end alignments. Their tires, they give those, don't give them away. They only charge you for the price of the mount and balance. Now, I understand they're going to be a Firestone dealership here pretty soon, or should be. They're
Okay.
trying to work it out and stuff.
I have it. So their address in Palatka is 3520 Krill Avenue. Their number is 386-325-6005, and they also have locations. They have one in Green Cove Springs that's at 1608 Idlewild Avenue. The number for that one is 904-657-2301. And then they also have one in Gainesville. If you guys live up in that area and you're listening right now, that one is Advanced Auto Care, and that one is at 3820 Southwest Archer Road in Gainesville. And the number for that is 352-305-0548. And that is Cars Community Automotive Repair Specialists. And go see them, ask for Jason, and sign up for the giveaway we're going to be having on the Putnam Way and IITW Radio.
Yeah, you know, Cletus, he said, I told him the other day that he had one, that he had one follower, and he said that we have to give him airtime, or he's gonna be really pissed off because we have all these other people on there. So I told him I would let him do one of the things tonight. It was about something that happened at McDonald's.
Oh, so he's getting demanding now.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay. He's in the studio right now, so go ahead and put him on.
Okay.
Well, hi there, Miss Tammy. How you doing?
Well, hi, I'm good. How are you doing today, Cletus?
Well, by God, I'm all right. You looking pretty. You got that makeup on and that red stuff.
Thank you.
Is that
You look pretty good yourself today. How are you doing?
all right? Have you been drinking RC strawberry or cherry? Is that why your lips are so red?
No, I've got lipstick on.
Oh, man. Did you see what the hell happened over at McDonald's?
I did. Are you going to talk about that? You mean the fight?
Oh, yeah. This girl, she came in there, and they got video on this thing.
I know. Why don't you tell us about it?
Well, let's show the video first.
Okay.
By God, she took an ass whipping.
Yes, she did. You're right about that.
She got the number one ass whipping.
Yes, she did.
Well, put that, how you do that? What, I got to push something here? Oh, there it is. My God. Good God, look at them go. I think I saw a boob. I think there's a booby popping out there. This should be restricted. Oh, it's blurred out.
They were tag teaming her.
I think that's one of my sisters. Oh, God, she's going to hit her with a chair. Wait for it. This is like Saturday Night Wrestling. What the hell? When she took a chair away from her. Good God Almighty. Why that little thing gonna mess with that gal?
I think she was outnumbered and outweighed and everything else there.
Because she was trying to steal them damn sodas. Probably
Is that what it was?
Probably sweet tea.
Probably.
I know one thing. She probably went in there for a #1 Big Mac, but wound up with a #2 and 3 ass whipping.
You're right.
Good God Almighty! You see the size of that girl's fist that was wailing on her? It looked like damn ham hocks there.
She was a big girl.
Hey, you like?
I wouldn't have messed with her.
You like my new shirt I just made? Look at this.
Oh, I see. What does that say?
Make America Great Again.
Oh, it's a MAGA shirt. Okay. And you
MAGA.
made that.
MAGA. What the hell are you talking about, MAGA? Make America Great. Oh, I know. I think I know what you're talking about.
Oh,
I'm going to try to
okay.
sell these.
Yeah?
How much? Yeah, that's some good artwork. See that?
I think you might have a little bit of competition, though.
How much you think I can get for one of them?
I don't know, maybe a couple bucks.
I don't know. I was hoping to make at least $1.50.
Well, see, there you go.
But that
How
guy,
much?
that guy on that movie there, the
Uh-huh.
McDonald's. Good God Almighty! Why would you mess with somebody like that when you're so tiny?
I don't know. I wouldn't have. She's a
Jeez.
big girl.
Big guy, she like my sister.
She tall.
I might be in
Don't
love
talk
with her.
about your sister like that.
I wonder if she's married.
I don't know. Are you interested?
I don't know, but I got one follower now. Hell, I might need a bodyguard here pretty soon.
She'd be a good bodyguard, wouldn't she?
You talk about my sister. I'll put my sister up. Can you got a picture of her? Oh, damn, ain't she pretty?
Oh, I told you the other day when we talked that I do not believe that she is your sister. She's way too pretty.
Her name's Lee. She's pretty than a damn blue tick hound, ain't she?
Yes, she is. Way prettier than a blue tick.
Well, by God. I don't know what she got her finger stuck in there, but it ain't her butt. There's something going on.
She was at work.
She was. I didn't know she had a job.
Yeah. Some of us have to work.
I don't know. I wanted to borrow some money off her the other day. And you know what she said to me?
Go find a job.
No, she told me to learn the alphabet. She
Yeah.
asked me what come after M in the alphabet.
Okay.
I said,
And what'd you say?
N-O-P. She said, no, only 2 of those letters, by God. Oh, shit, I just got it. She meant no.
You're a little slow, aren't you?
By God, who calling slow? I won my races.
I'm just saying.
My ex-wife
you
was
just
chasing
now
me.
got that.
Yeah, but my ex-wife was chasing me one time.
Uh-huh.
I outran her. I had to. She was going to hit
Why
me.
would...
She was going to hit me with a damn baseball bat. And her mama, too. Her mama chased me with an axe one time. But you know what?
Ooh.
I got to get out of here.
Okay.
I told you I started that new cab service. I got my jackass. His name is Goober, not Uber. When you call it up, you spell it. You call 1-800 G-U-V-E-R. Not none of them Uber. I got Goober.
Goober.
I ran
Okay,
him.
I like that.
I ran him out too. All right.
I bet you do. All right.
Well, I ain't got to go, but I got to get on out of here before the mosquitoes
right.
start going. So, this woman done throw that damn note over here at me. Said, you're supposed to talk about O'Reilly's and Benio's.
Okay.
Okay.
You gonna do that too? Boy, you're taking over, aren't you?
Hell no, I don't know how to read all this stuff. I don't know what's going on here. I got to go. I think she was talking about that other guy. But I'm prettier than him, so
Okay.
I'm going to get some dental work done next week, too.
I think you might need to.
They're going to fold this one right over here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get a gold cap for it.
Oh, that'll look nice. I like that
Hell,
idea.
my grandmother had one, by God.
Are you
Don't
gonna
be,
use hers?
don't be talking that sarcasm to me.
I just thought
All right,
I'd
well, I
ask.
got to go now. You aggravate me. You tell them kids and all your loved ones I said, by God, they'll know what you're talking about.
Okay, I will.
All
You
right.
take care now, Cletus.
All right, you have a good one.
All right, you too.
Bye.
Bye.
By God, get me out of this chair. Somebody done got my butt strapped in here.
Okay. Bye, Cletus. Okay, that was Cletus. Oh my goodness gracious. I don't know. Do I need to do Benios now? We've got
Talking about Benio's.
okay. I can talk about Benios here. Benios pumps, he does pumps and wells. He can redo a well for you. He can re-drill irrigation, well restoration, pump replacements. Anybody that, if you've got a well that's been abandoned, he can do that for you. Benios does a good job
Yep.
on everything. He fixed Travis's well over there at the ranch and got that up and running again. And his
Yeah, we
water's
don't-
good.
We done run out of time, Tammy. So they
Oh,
can
my.
find you guys can find us on Twitter. Make
Holy
sure
cow.
you go and you hit the sign up button or the join or whatever on YouTube. Subscribe.
Subscribe, yes.
All right. Thank you for letting us come into your hearts, your homes, your minds. We'll see you Monday night. God willing, the government don't get me first. And the creek don't
Bye, y'all.
rise. Bye-bye. Tyler Riffley coming at you, his newest song. Close it out with that.
You might know me as a criminal. You might think of me as a man who deserves to die. You probably don't know my whole story, and you probably wouldn't care to hear, even if I tried. I sure regret some things I've done, but through all the hurt, this battle's won. 'Cause I'm not who I was, I'm who I'm meant to be. God, your love's enough to change a man like me. This life's not easy, but it's so hard to forget. You're the air I'm breathing in, and I'm on my feet again because of you. I'm alive and breathing because of you.